Hey, let me do a half-assed review of Savage Legion by Mtt Wllc, a start of the Savage Rebellion trilogy. Mtt Wllc is an American science fiction fantasy writer. I tried his du jour series of novellas and didn't get that far into it. I just found it kind of lacking in pace. I think it was just kind of, it had a lot of interesting characters, but it was like it just didn't go. And he is a part of Ditch Diggers, a podcast with Mur Lafferty, which I've really enjoyed, and I've really enjoyed his kind of very sensible talking on it. So I figured I'd give him another try. I bought this, and then I never read it. And now he's actually finishing the trilogy, so I thought, okay, what the hell? I would pick up Savage Legion and see what I thought of it. And spoilers, whatever. It was actually pretty good. It was actually, yeah, I actually enjoyed it, and I've bought the second one. It's set in a fantasy world where there's this city, it's Kraish, where it's wonderful. It's like a kind of a paradise with like great standard of living, except for the underclass of the bottoms, where they're just, it's really terrible. And it also turns out that they are horribly exploiting, carving up the rest of the country's world around them, sort of very akin to a lot of what you would call Western countries, and how they treat the rest of the world with their mining processes and exploitative things, and also, you know, having great wealth, but also having a shitty underclass. So we're definitely getting, there's maybe a whiff, just a teeny whiff of politics in here, which definitely is this is straightforward storytelling. It's not shying away from anything like that. So if you're some poor deluded soul that doesn't think politics should enter into your stuff, well, that means you're simmering in it, and you just don't notice. You're a fish who doesn't notice the water. But yeah, that was fun. Now the important thing for me here is that I think actually the storytelling really held up for me. This book did not kind of lull for me like the du jour series did. It's multiple storylines, as I said. First one being Lexi. She is the head of her family within this Kraish society. Very small house, I guess you would put it as, where her husband had been very much an advocate for the poor, the bottoms, trying to kind of make things better for them, and was investigating stuff, and suddenly has disappeared, and she is sort of scrambling to keep her house alive. There's definitely political forces that are just trying to snuff it out entirely, like, oh, your husband's gone, so therefore your house is gone, goodbye. It's like, no. So there's all that. We have Evie, who we do discover fairly short in, has been sent by Lexi to try and find her husband, and what she has done is gotten herself arrested. And what's apparently happening is that criminals, supposed to be kind of really hardened criminals, like, you know, kind of murderers and stuff like that, were getting sent to the Savage Legions, the titular body of this book. And what it is it's basically, you put all the criminals into a horde at the front of the army, and they swarm and soften up the enemy, and then the regular troops come in and blast everyone away, and it's cannon fodder. So they have a terrible survival rate. But Evie is a serious warrior within this thing. She's a serious warrior. She's sort of a rescue kid that Lexi and her husband Brio have rescued, and she's got serious mad skills in that, and these come in handy. She meets an enemy assassin from the other side, and some sparks fly there, which is all very good. So we've got that storyline, which is cool. It reminds me of very much of kind of Brandon Sanderson, and in his Stormlight trilogy, there is a group of slaves who basically kind of organize themselves together into a more cohesive fighting unit, and it's got kind of that kind of a flavor to it, which is entertaining. It's kind of the underdogs making good in there. So there's that. And then we've got Diawin, who is a girl who I believe is paralyzed from the waist down, and she gets recruited by the planning cadre of Crash, and is actually, her skills are finally kind of recognized. Her intelligence. She is a super smart, super intelligent person who had been just kind of discarded on the streets. And specifically the head of the planning cadre, Edgar, this strange fellow who his face is somehow kind of paralyzed or something like that, and he uses masks to indicate different emotions, which is very kind of disturbing, kind of almost like Phantom of the Opera or something, I get the sense of V from Vendetta masks, that kind of idea, that mask, but multiple masks is that way. And he's the one who is her mentor and is kind of bringing her up, and all these three storylines kind of weave together into this kind of really kind of fun mix of politics, of it's definitely kind of a political book. I think that's the thing. I think people who are like more like, there are definitely action scenes in here, but I think if you're more into like political machinations and schemings and stuff like that, that's what kind of that's what lights my boat. I mean, I did kind of guess a lot of where things were going, but it was told so well and entertainingly that I enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm going to go on to the next book, which I think is Savage Bounty next, probably after I've finished up whatever ebook I'm reading at the moment. I'll probably go on to that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Savage Legion by Mtt Wllc, which I've really enjoyed this first installment in the series. I think the books actually get shorter as they go along. Improvements in maybe in Mtt Wllc's efficiency of storytelling. There's not as much world building at the beginning, maybe. We'll see. I do know that this had it became a bit of an orphaned book, in that the original editor that he worked with on the first novel ended up out of the company that he was working with. So he there were some struggles, which is just sort of back information. And to be honest, if the book sucked, it wouldn't matter. It would be like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but it wouldn't matter to me. So I think I can give a fairly it's always one of those things that, like, oh, I know someone from something. Can I give a not neutral, but just sort of disinterested review of, and I think I can. So I told him I already said I wasn't particularly into the du jour books, so there's that. So yeah, all right, I will leave it there. More videos later.